I go straight
Shall
into
we be off then?
Yes.
Good.
So as you split off, you hope that everyone stays safe in this strange city for most of you. So you, Vanity, and Ingrid, you go to the Casimir's Copse, right? The
And I
central part.
immediately disguise self.
As who? Or just
As
a
who?
random?
As a blue version of Vanity.
With blue hair
Yes.
and a blue dress.
Very discreet.
So let's do yours first, and then we'll get back to Eclaire and Oliver. Is that okay? You, Vanity, and Ingrid Mudbubble head to the Casimir's Copse, the central part of town, where there's a wall surrounding it, and you see instantly as you get closer, it's relatively newly built, and you remember this, Vanity, when it was first put up. It was a couple of years ago to protect the Erd, which is the central building where Elena Cateau presides. Around the Erd, this giant mansion in the central part of town, is the Copse, which is all of these shops and inns and taverns, where most of the industry regarding what Brovnoia is for happens, for people to rest and to go through. So as you come to a town square, which is on the edge of the Copse, so you see the wall. As you get closer to the wall, you see instantly there's a number of Elberian soldiers standing there, which is strange, because as you were walking through Brovnoia, you mostly saw Dorney's common guard, clad in blue robes and chainmail and a simple longsword. These are definitely not like the frightening legionnaires by any measures, like the one you saw at the convention, wearing full plate armor and large artifice rifles, but they're still armored much more than their Dornese counterparts, a metallic chainmail that goes down to their knees with these menacingly large Elberian halberds. You gather that this is probably Elena's order. So, you just walk towards the entrance disguised with Ingrid. As you get closer and closer, they notice you instantly as you're a beautiful sight to behold, albeit blue now. And they look towards your left and they see Ingrid Mudbubble, the more disheveled Dorney's witch, a poor version.
Oi!
Sorry. And one of these soldiers turns towards you and says, "Business in the Copse."
Oh yes, darling. I need to buy some supplies and send a letter. Don't mind my servant.
You're aware of the curfew tonight?
Oh yes, for sure. What time was this again?
In about 6 hours.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of time.
Okay, we'll be inside in the Copse, well out of the sea by then. Okay?
What just remind me, why is this necessary again?
High security. No more further questions.
All
He
right.
squints his eyes at you. I don't recognize you.
Darling.
Milady.
If you were in a position to recognize me, you would.
Make me a persuasion check, please.
Oh shit. 11.
Milady, we should probably... all the good apples will be gone if we'll be late.
You're right, darling. I'm glad I have your assistance with this.
Fine. I'll tell my boys to keep an eye on what's going inside.
Thank you very much. Oh, was that a tone I detected in your voice?
Not at all.
Oh, right. I just go inside.
So as you go in, across this wall, into the central part of Brovnoia, Casimir's Copse, you pass through its bustling streets, and you notice that the decorative Dorney's banners have changed from the ones you saw in the Spurling port. The scent of freshly baked bread hits you instantly together with Ingrid as you walk further into the Copse, and everywhere you look, there are quaint little shops and market stalls, rowdy taverns, and large, tall inns that dominate the streets and crowds, and bend this district to their will. You start listening in, you're like, okay, we need to be fast. And with Ingrid looking around, you get the feeling that Ingrid is a little bit going blind.
Not a lie, unfortunately.
But you spot quite quickly a bakery next to one of these larger inns. There's a woman standing outside, and she's handing out a piece of bread and sandwiches all over the place, wrapped in this paper. This is probably where you could get some supplies.
I dash into the place and I said, I'd like a 2-day supply of food, please.
surely.
Right now, I'm running late already for my appointment. I have to see the jewelers in 2 hours.
Sorry, my bad, fine lady. 3 meals?
Yes. For like, for my little party, I need at least like for 4 people.
That will be, what's it? 1 gold and 1 silver, please.
Oh, really? Can't you just bill me? Just send me a bill.
Mistress, we really have to be on time.
Yes. Just send a bill to Elena Cato, it's fine.
Sorry, you live in the Erd?
Yeah, darling,
my apologies, ma'am.
Are you gonna make me wait?
Make me a deception check, please.
19.
19.
I am terribly sorry, miss. I'll have it sent to the Erd immediately. Please forgive me.
No, I can pack them now. You can send the bill immediately and let's go.
Of course, my lady. Please.
Quicker, she'll burn you to a crisp.
Oh, no.
And instantly from the back, you get
I
these
love
3
Ingrid.
packages of these neatly packed. You see them packing them as they come to you. Of these neatly packed breads, cheeses, and fruits.
This is the service I expected of your place, and I tipped them. What do I have?
You
I
have
took
9
them as
gold.
silver.
You have 9 gold still.
Mighty thanks to you.
Yes.
I
Thank
hope
you.
to see you again as a customer, my lady.
With this kind of service, you certainly will.
She bows. You see suddenly a smile creep across her face, and like,
Thank you a million times.
Cut it out with the eye contact. You're rude.
I'm sorry.
your meals, as she's looking to the ground.
That's
Thank
better.
you. Thank you. Thank you, my dear servant. And then I leave. Is there any sort of postal service nearby?
You would have to go look for it.
No, never mind. I'll just leave.
Okay. To the others. What are you doing exactly?
So,
We don't know where the Roscovian fields are.
I do, because I've been here once, so we'll just get the cart and we'll go to the fields, the northern gate.
Yep.
Which, so we try to do that as inconspicuous as possible. Though everybody's moving stuff all the time, so we're just kind of walking with a donkey in a cart.
Quite quickly you notice 2 things. As you're walking through the square, this booms all throughout as there's these 2 pompous ladies making their way through the crowds, trying to avoid all of the lower class individuals in this town. As one of them these ladies says,
Oh my, you're not going to tell me you've already got your greedy little paws on one, have you, Sophia?
Greedy paws, what are you talking about? This is the future. You're just jealous because mine looks especially sparkling.
and you see now as you look towards them, one of them has these crystalline necklaces that you saw at the convention on, around their necks. The other one says,
Oh, simmer down, Sophia. I'll get mine soon. It's fine. Is it true you can't use your magic now anymore?
and they start. You don't intervene, right?
No, we don't do it.
Eclaire sees this and goes like, wow, sparkly. Then looks at Oliver and goes like, and points at them, but it's quietly.
Oliver just kind of feels very low in his belly, like almost an anger kind of brewing up, but knows that he needs to get to the family first before he can knock someone out. So we'll just continue to pull Eclaire along to where they need to be.
Talking about anger, suddenly, as you keep going forward to the Roscova fields in the north of Brovnoia, suddenly from the left side of this crowded street, a disheveled door slams open. You're still in the Sperling district. And this door belongs to a house with a few broken windows and loose bricks painted in a faded pastel yellow, and this ironclad Alberian soldier briskly steps out while dragging a slim young Dorinese boy along by the drape of his neck. A woman runs and pleads behind them. Please, no! By Ledev, he won't survive! Please, take this money, please, it's all that we have! And this woman, who wears a brown skirt and clogs, trips over the wooden doorstep as she's following these 2 individuals, and she lands on the ground, this pouch with gold and silver scattering all over the pavement, still grasping for the ankles of her son, who is being slowly dragged away by this soldier.
Mama! Papa! Help!
Tears roll over this young boy's face as he frantically tries to look over his back now at the kneeling woman, helped up by this middle-aged bearded man, probably the father, who dashes in front of the Alberian soldier.
Please, hear me out, good sir. Take me instead of my son. I've been working in the Sperling Harbour all my life. I'm a good worker.
The soldier then turns around menacingly, slowly to the father and says,
Out of the way, mutt. You won't last more than a year in the cauldron. This boy should be proud to serve the Empire, working in the factories. He'll be a trailblazer.
You see a number of other soldiers standing around, and they're just kind of laughing with them. The soldier leans over to the mortified man and grabs him by the collar of his stained cotton shirt, the father.
If you worry so much about his survival, maybe you should have made a man out of him, instead of this pissy, fluttering pixie that he's now.
As a wide grin appears on his face.
Still, should get a couple of good years out of him before his back breaks.
Please, sir. I'm a tailor, an apprentice. I can't.
Fed up with this scene, the soldier slams the boy into a fruit stand neighboring them.
Oliver! Oliver!
Yeah,
What's happening?
Oliver's running in.
As you come, the
Eclaire
soldier
follows.
says, as you run in, the soldier says to him,
That's it, this is bullshit. Armando, I'm going to beat some character into this whining Nance. Show him what it means to be a man.
None of that!
I'm using... we're getting close. I'm using shield to protect the boy.
okay.
Good shit!
No, not shield of fate. This is my reaction. While wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
That's your protection feature from
That's
your
the
paladin.
protection fighting style, yes. That's what I'm doing.
So as the soldier raises a short mace to try and whack some sense into the boy, a axe wielded by Eclaire blocks the mace before it hits the boy. You see the boy now who had a longer ponytail, which is now hanging all in front of his face, look up at you.
I pull the boy behind me. Do I still have a reaction?
Sure, yeah.
Can I punch this man in the face?
You can do it as a surprise action.
Looking it up.
Well, yeah,
looking it up.
it depends
So let's
on...
say this. Make your attack roll. As the soldier turns to Eclaire and says,
What do you think you're doing, soldier?
and then whack!
19!
As the helmet just gonna go. As some of the soldiers now get their weapons, but they're looking at you and they notice your insignia of House Mavis, and they kind of wait just for a moment before they start doing something. The one on the ground scurries away and then tries to stand up.
This boy is a tailor. This tailor is making a gown for Imelda Violet. Don't.
Make a perception check, make a persuasion check with advantage.
This action with advantage.
Oh yeah.
People lying, that was a good thing, right?
Eclaire's learning!
This is amazing.
I'll kind of like tough up and pretend like I'm her bodyguard. So that it's kind of
16?
like I'm also scowling at the guy I just punched.
16 plus 2 and a 19 plus 2, so it's either 21 or 18.
Oh my god, so they all look at you and you have your axe in hand and they see the House Mavis logo and a couple of the other ones on the back just start whispering between each other.
They're here? Why they're here?
And the one who you just punched stands up suddenly and says,
I'm so sorry, ma'am. We didn't know. We were just recruiting for the cauldron. We got orders.
Well, this boy should be proud, of course, to go to the cauldron, but he is preoccupied.
Of course, ma'am. We'll go round up some other young ones.
Well, how about you just don't do that though? All of these young ones are much better off working in the village.
Well, the commander would have my head.
he looks a little bit confused at you. Is that boy her bodyguard? Like, what's happening?
This boy is my apprentice.
Of course, ma'am.
I think you, of course, should get all the workers that you need. These workers actually should be proud, and proud workers work harder. So only take the ones that are proud to work there.
Does that mean I can refer to you when I next see my commander?
Yes.
Of course, ma'am. Right.
Off we go! And he all nervously talks to the other soldiers like, okay, that's it. And they slowly start walking away.
You see the mother of the boy especially, is now crawling almost from the floor up to you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Don't worry about
the
it.
boy just hugs his mother, quite frankly, and the father comes and joins in as she holds his pouch between her weathered knuckles. And please, have the money, please.
Are you sure?
Oh no, absolutely no. We can make more money again. This is just a gift. You are truly an angel.
May I ask?
Oliver takes the
Yes.
money.
Oh.
Thank you.
I would feel so bad if you didn't take it.
Eclaire at this point is just looking at the boy blankly, like, why didn't this boy want to go to work for the Empire? Like, why?
At this point, Oliver stashed away the money. And he'll kind of take Eclaire's hand and he'll go like,
So, as you do this, you see from the corner of your eye a parchment go through hands of some of the guards. And you can notice that there is a small, very thin ribbon tied around it with a purple collar. As one of the guards, a violet collar, as one of the guards removes it, starts opening the scroll, and he is now beginning to read it. What do you do?
run.
No, we need to burn that paper before they read it, otherwise the boy will still get dragged.
Well, how are we going to do that? Because I don't have anything.
They're now pretty, the guy reading the paper is like 40 feet away.
Can I do guiding bolt on the paper or something like
Definitely.
that? Okay. Yes?
Yes!
Guiding bolt. Okay, you can roll an attack roll.
Eclaire is just gonna come away from this day like, that was so exciting!
At this point, Vanity
You come back
and
with Ingrid Lovable.
Ingrid are now entering the part where where Oliver and Eclaire are standing.
What does Vanity notice? Like she sees the situation.
Yeah, we stand 50 feet behind them.
Me and
Vanity
Ingrid
is
are-
like,
As you see Eclaire raise an arm from the sky, a small ray of light collects on her finger as her hand starts to glow. And as she pulls it back, a ball of divine crackling energy builds up as you almost hear an incantation with this booming voice, and this bolt of energy flies towards the guard.
like,
who
oh, I'm
is
so happy
reading
they
the
didn't cause
paper.
havoc.
It's 120 feet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can add anything to my roll.
What did you roll?
So what you do is, Eclaire holds her finger forward and this divine beam shoots out at one of the guards. Kevin, who's playing Vanity, is nervously biting his nose right now.
I'm like, what is happening?
As you release this guiding bolt, it hits on the stone in front of these guards who instantly just jump back like, what the? No, it's a flash of light, and then you see like this ash almost covering the light gray bricks on the port.
Did you get the paper?
No, but
Oh, okay.
it just lets it go, I think.
Okay.
They jump up and it goes wafts away in the wind. One of these soldiers, because these are still the same Elberian soldiers, not Dorney's guard, one of them's like, I fucking had it with them. Fucking house Mavis. And he just goes to walk through, and the older one, which you just knocked to the ground, looks towards him, holds him back, it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, Jim. It's
Don't
not
do
worth it. And they slowly start to walk away.
Okay.
Vanity now
Vanity's
rejoins your
like-
group.
Vanity looks at the situation and she, like for a second, turns back as if to walk away. And it's like, no, I have to. Breathes deeply and then walks right.
Let's get in the car and go. No, the paper's gone.
Is the paper
Yes,
gone?
the paper is gone,
on the
darling. The
ground
paper is
somewhere,
gone.
right?
It's
The
not on
paper's
the floor.
wafting in the breeze. Yeah.
Oh, in that case, I will use my key point.
Dash to the wind.
Dash to the wind, because I have 40 feet of movement on any day. So I will spend a key point, and with Step of the Wind, I can take my dash as a bonus action, which means that I will dash 2 as my action to get it,
Which is 80 feet.
Which is 80 feet, so I'll get it.
So cartoonishly, almost, as Vanity rejoins, Oliver's like, oh fuck, forgot something. Starts to walk towards the edge of the port, grabs something out of midair, and he's like, oh fuck, thank god I got it, and then slowly walks back.
Well, that's the thing. I can use dash as my action and my bonus action, so I also comically fast come back.
Goes into a sprint, like a fucking Usain Bolt sprint, and then gets back.
It's like he disappears and there's little smoke.
Yeah, and then
In the place, and then suddenly he's back in the smoke.
We can go now. Whilst this is happening,
I'm leaving.
we get them in the cart.
All
and
right,
we
do
go.
we have the cart?
From the shadows, Vanity, you see something in the alleyway, a dangling of keys, and you suddenly hear a familiar, raspy voice of that of an old man saying,
Lady Vanity? Is that you? Over here.
I approach them.
You turn around. In the darkness, you see an old, large, and dusty man wearing a plain brown cloak with a thick black cable-knit tunic underneath it. He has a burgeoning grey beard and a sad, wrinkled look on his face. And on his belt, he wears a thick ring of dark iron keys that dangles as he shuffles in the dark. This is your old confidant and friend, Velmer Voss, loyal scribe to your family.
What was that? What were you doing?
I was lying.
What don't you understand about lay low?
We need
Just go. I'll catch up to you.
No, Vanity, listen.
1 second.
Velmer walks towards you, and you see now he's going a little blind as well. He's really old. As he shuffles towards you, the keys are kind of dangling in this big cloak. He says,
By the Thanes, you must come with me. We are in dire need of your assistance. My lady, something terrible has happened at the estate. It's Sophia.
No.
We've tried to follow your advice to keep pretenses up, and things were going well for the longest of times until...
and he looks around now, trying to see if anyone else is listening. He sees you.
They found a hidden chamber. We think it was your... You understand, no? It was trapped.
I have
Sophia got hurt in there, and she's been deteriorating ever since. She was the only one who could truly pull an act like yours. Without her to act as the face of the house, we've been lost hopelessly.
I will go.
Go where?
I was trying to gather some herbs in the town. Their situation's been worsening as of yesterday.
Vanity, you can't just leave us.
If we help
can
that boy,
join.
we should help Vanity.
No, we need to go to the LaVorne Mansion.
As Eclaire speaks up, Velmer looks towards you and he searches for a moment. He says,
Is she with you, my lady?
She's fine. She will pass. I will. You can head, and I have to. I can't abandon. I have to.
Okay, well,
Just go.
You see an elderly woman run up to Ingrid and whisper something in her ear. And say, oh, Dorothea, what? Letters? Shit.
shit!
Well, this is no laughing matter, is it? Apparently letters have been arriving in the city. They're closing off the outer gates.
Okay, listen, we need to go now. If you're not coming now, I'm coming back for you as soon as I can.
I'm afraid it might be already too late. We need to find a way to get out of the city.
I tell Velmer Voss, can we can guide them through. We can give them safe passage through the mansion, right?
The estate
The
has
estate.
some lingering tunnels, yes.
We'll go through my estate.
All right.
Oliver is going, excuse you.
I will explain everything later. I
Vanity.
trust you, and I hope you know that.
I am so sorry to burden you, Lady Vanity, but I worry for her, that is all.
We're going to wherever you can bring us so we can get to the mansion
Yes.
now.
We'll do that now.
Well, I have to be off.
Thank you, Ingrid.
No,
Ingrid,
it's...
do you have to?
Well,
Yeah, she needs to eat.
I need to get back home.
Yes, because I don't want to do this voice for the entire campaign.
Well,
No.
if you ever need work or a safe place, you can count on the House of Dubois.
Well, thank you so much. And you too, give Virgo and Margot my kindest regards.
Will do.
Who?
You'll see. It's fine. Yes.
Good, I'll be off then, or else I'll be trapped in the city for days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good luck.
Thank you,
Stay safe.
Ingrid.
Yes.
Stay safe.
May the gods be with you. As she rides off with the donkey.
Velmer then turns towards you, the older man, as he shuffles and says,
Terribly rude of me not to introduce myself. My name is Voss, Velmer Voss. I'm scribe to the family of your dear companion.
Right, I'm Oliver. Nice to meet you. Can we go now, please?
and he starts to shuffle. He's not that fast, but he starts to shuffle in a very specific direction, and he starts to lead you out of the copse, or out of the Spurling Port where you were, and to the northern part of Brovnoia. Once you cross the pale wooden bridges connecting the southern to the northern part of the city of Bridges, Brovnoia, you start to see these vast fields of pinkish and red flowers in the distance, as the houses grow sparser and sparser quite quickly, with only long winding roads carving through the flower fields. The further the bustling town of Brovnoia is left behind you, the more birch trees start to pop up and surround you and the fields of flowers. You know this part of Brovnoia very well, Vanity, and as these beautiful blossoming fields, the Roskova fields, was your home for many years. As the busy city life is left behind you, the calmness of this place starts to take over slowly, but it does not seem to calm Velmer. He is sweating, shuffling as fast towards an unknown destination as fast as his old feet can carry him, his keyring dangling and clinking with every step. You start to see small clearings in these beautiful fields of pink and red flowers and trees, where rather large, more Alberian architectural style houses are stood, shaded by the leaves of these birch trees, and they seem almost like expensive summer homes, with numerals painted boldly on the doors, and a singular Dorney's banner, similar like the ones you saw of House Novak. Then you see it in the distance, an enormous estate made of tall wooden beams and a blue-colored tile roof. Enormous windows everywhere give the house this very airy and ethereal look. It is beautiful in its making and extremely extravagant in its rich design, especially the immense circular garden out front of the estate. Embedded in the woodwork are rows of the same symbol, that of a blossoming rose, a heraldic symbol you know very well, Vanity. Velmer walks briskly through the garden to the front door of the estate. He takes his keyring and unlocks 3 separate locks on the door before it slowly creaks open. You notice instantly that it is eerily quiet inside of the estate as the front door opens up into the lavish, traditional Dorney's foyer.
Then from nowhere, a female head pops up with a white little cap, and she says, "Oh, very good, very good. Did you get them?"
Dottie, look who I found in the copse. It is our fair lady.
"Oh, it's nice to hear. I'm Dottie. Hello.
This is my niece.
Dottie. Hello.
I employed her
my name's
when we were
Eclaire.
in need of more hands at the estate.
And you trust Dottie?
She goes over to Eclaire. "Oh, Madame Dubois."
That is not the fair lady. This is Vanity.
"Oh, I'm so sorry.
You must excuse my niece. She is rather new to this.
I like you.
Oh, that's very nice. I like you too."
Dottie, these matters are serious. My lady, she is in the guest room.
We had immediately. Vanity just picks up pace and just goes straightly into the.
Oliver will once again turn to the scribe and say, "Right, how are we getting out of here?"
Well, there are winding tunnels underneath the estate. I believe one still runs out to outside of the town.
Yes.
Hello everyone, we're taking a small intermission and I just wanted to let you all know that these episodes are made possible by our patrons over at patreon.com/DNDQNL, all letters DNDQNL. We really couldn't make this type of content if it weren't for those people backing us every month over at Patreon. Right now, everyone backing us on Patreon is getting shoutouts by their favorite characters from our cast, as well as receiving episodes early. So these podcasts that you're listening to now have already been available to Patreon users for a while now. Finally, our patrons always get a pre-sale so that they can be the first to get tickets for our new live shows whenever there's one available again. This way, they'll make sure they have a ticket because they always sell out so fast. So if you want to support the channel or help us further, or if you even just like the content that we're putting out in this way, please consider supporting us on Patreon because it really, really makes a world of difference. And to those already backing us on Patreon, thank you so much. You're amazing.
So as you walk through these long, winding, super expensive hallways of the estate, you come to the door of the guest chambers, one door of which is left partially open, Vanity. And as you peek in, you see on the bed, draped in sunlight that is peeking through the windows to the garden, laying there, Sofia Pijnacker. And she has her eyes closed and she's sweating profusely. Yet the blankets are kind of over her, and next to her is a servant who immediately sees you, takes her breath for a moment, and then bows, and then leaves the room. And Sophia, you, Velmer, and the rest of the group are left alone in these guest chambers.
I try to check if I can identify what's wrong with her.
We're all in this chamber.
Yeah, you're all in the guest rooms right now, where Sophia is laying very sickly on one of these beds, and you are there. So Eclaire, Oliver, Vanity, Velmer Voss are there, and then Dottie is standing in the entrance of the door, so she's kind of looking at what's happening. You try and ascertain what's wrong with Sophia. You know rather well, but she has a high fever, and it's hard to see what else is going on.
I need a messenger. I will inspect it, but I need a messenger right now to go to the LaVorne Mansion to inform them of some happenings.
We still have a raven. Dottie, you can write. Go write a letter to... What were their names again?
The LaVorne Mansion.
Right.
Dottie?
But, Vanity, I don't mean... Listen, I don't know what's going on. It looks really serious, but me and Eclaire need to get out of here because we got into some shit with some guards.
Wait, I left you alone for 2 seconds.
It's fine. I'll explain
We helped
it
the
later.
boy. We did something good with lights.
They were taking away people to work in the cauldrons.
In the cauldrons?
Yeah.
Do I know anything about the cauldron?
You have not heard of something called the cauldron before, no. As you're having this conversation, by the way, Sophia opens her eyes slightly, looks around, and she's very dazed. You see her eyes are a little bit bloodshot, and something is definitely wrong. As she looks towards you, recognizes you suddenly, Vanity, and says,
Don't cry for me, Vanity. It was curiosity that got the cat.
Shut up, Sophia. You'll be fine.
You and I both know that that is horseshit.
Dottie takes you two outside and you talk a little bit to her and she says, we don't have any idea how we can get it out of her system. We tried everything.
No, I can imagine.
It's all very sad.
Oliver,
I have enlisted some medicine women from outside of Brovnoya, Vanity, but
Oliver.
Yeah.
There is something downstairs that's weird. Something I sensed with my Seraphian power.
All right. Well, as much as I'd love to get into more weird shit,
So you're still standing in this room, this guest room, where the light is slowly traipsing in from the window to the gardens, where they're sick on the bed is Sofia Pijnacker, and she seems like she's getting worse and worse. Now that I think of it, you notice that on her leg is something not otherworldly, but foul in nature.
Vanity, you should know something. I don't know if it's rude, I think it's rude, but we should lift the blanket of the girl, because on her leg there is something with a foul energy.
What? Foul?
Yes, it's...
Sure, yeah. Yeah, whatever helps. If you have any sort of inkling of what you can do.
As you remove the blanket from the leg, a kind of pungent smell sort of emits from it, which sort of happens, and you do see a larger area of skin and muscle deterioration.
And you're looking at her left foot, and you notice that across the veins of it, and then up her leg, run these dark, blackened veins that coalesce at the bottom of her foot, where a singular small stab wound seems to lie. Almost like she was hit with a knitting needle or something on the base of her foot. This definitely seems like poison of some kinds to you.
What is this? What do we have to do? What can we do?
do you think you could heal it?
Yes, of course.
Velmer pipes up and says, You can?
Please heal her.
what is happening?
And Eclaire just walks over to the body, puts her hands on top of the leg, and starts chanting.
At that moment, you see a radiant glow start to emit from Eclaire's hands, and Sophia looks up feverishly and starts to grin, like mockingly at Eclaire's, like, You have no idea what you are doing, are you? And then suddenly a sharp pain goes through Sophia, and you see a lot of this blackened substance in her veins kind of get pulled out of the pores of her skin, go to coalesce around Eclaire's hands with this divine energy, and then as Eclaire whoosh, clenches her fists, the energy disappears, and with it, the poison, it seems. And Sophia looks up, opens her eyes, and then looks completely surprised at Eclaire and says, "Who are you?"
Remember that healing magic is super uncommon in Doran, especially as it is mostly built up from witches, which is more of an arcane nature. So healing magic wasn't as much around, which also meant why a lot of witches were dying during the witch hunt, because
the moment that the mist kind of fades away, Vanity, like all this pile of stress that was kind of keeping her up, like, kind of dissipates, and she just kind of, and she's like, "Thank you so much, Eclaire.
I didn't think you'd make it in time.
I told you wouldn't go away."
Oh, I always thought of myself as tough and hard, but it comes down to it.
Stop being foolish.
Lady Vanity, I believe you need to run, do you not?
Yes, fetch me someone to help with the transportation, and we have to go now.
There is the matter of the room. I believe it is of import for you to at least...
Now?
I feared that you might not come back for a while.
Please.
It's fine, it's fine.
Please, Oliver. Please, Eclaire, this is very important.
Yeah, we'll join.
I can't deal with any more accidents here, and
No, it's okay.
and my estate can be of great help to us, because I assume that this is going to be a difficult time for all of us.
It is. How about we check the room, get the fuck out of it, and on the way of getting the fuck out of it, you're going to explain yourself.
All right, I promise.
Right.
So we head towards the direction of the room?
Yes, it is up the stairwell to the eastern wing, then past the master bedroom, down again into the chapel.
All right, I'll go.
You follow the route as you enter the chapel, which is a small, circular, dark room in the estate. There's a rack for prayer candles, a small stained glass window lighting up the room, and a medium-sized statue of Ledev. This winged statue is that of a veiled woman, an angelic visage with large, folded, feathery wings. She looks down upon two babies that this veiled woman cradles in her arms, both of clearly different heritages, a patron saint who would bind different peoples together. You walk up to the statue and you see the button behind the head of this child, of these two childs that she cradles in her arms.
Yeah, I'll push it.
As you push the button, you hear a whirring of something in the walls as something lets loose suddenly. And rather silently, a door begins to emerge behind a fake wall in the chapel, which slides open. It is a heavy iron and reinforced door, which is reinforced by a thick padlock that locks it shut, and it doesn't seem to have been opened quite yet. You see on the floor a small trickle of blood that's been dried up, and a trap that's been sprung, with a needle that sticks out of the footworks. The door itself is very thick and heavy, and it seems to be locked, so you can't really enter the secret room just yet, as there's a thick padlock on it, and you don't have the key.
Oliver just kind of makes his way to the front of the room and he goes like, "Do you want this opened?" Or...
Yes, please.
Alright, and he just kind of crouches down, gets his tools out.
As Oliver takes these thieves' tools out, these lockpicks.
How many lockpicks did you start with?
I have like 20.
Okay, so we're not gonna keep count of that.
Okay.
You're going to pick these locks?
One lock.
One lock.
So we can see what's inside, because it sounds dangerous. That's an unnatural 20.
I assume, by the way, because we're not doing this the entire session, but that Adavos was left with Vilmer and Sophia in the guest room. Yeah. So Oliver, way too confident in this, slaps these thieves' tools out of his pocket, and then tick, 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 and within 10 seconds, the padlock clicks open, and you feel a restless spirit of whoever it was that this padlock belonged to rolling in their grave, being like, fuck! So, and as the padlock comes off, the door goes slightly ajar, but it seems very heavy, so you have to push it open. And it's not something that you expected. It is a square room, small, 5 by 5 meters. And the only things you see are a dark cobblestone wall, an armoire full of knickknacks and paraphernalia. Seems like a collections of strange things that someone collected on their journeys. Partially Monclaren, Elvish. A beautiful dark wooden chest on the other side of the room, and a writing desk filled with all sorts of documents and ink quills stacked on rows beside each other. And in the center of this room, above the writing desk, hangs a portrait of a painting of a middle-aged human man with short black hair, cut up, a ruffled white shirt with the collar that stands up, in a beautiful black suit. Beside him is a woman in a red pinkish dress with a rose strapped on top of it. This beautiful blondish hair, pinkish almost in nature, which is an elven woman standing beside this human man, and she cradles a baby.
She is quite beautiful. What is she?
She's elven.
Vanity walks into the room a little bit in trance, almost, like ignoring everything, and just starts to kind of touch the things and then goes to the portrait and just stares and stays a little bit silent.
I don't get it. This woman is beautiful, and you telling me that it's an elf? Elves have pointy ears and have like pointy teeth and pointy things.
Right. Eclaire, you're going to have to change your outlook on life a lot, because what they tell you about having only one god or no gods at all, and that elves are worth less than humans, is not true.
Elves are beautiful, beautiful creatures. And did you know that back in the day, human and elves didn't actually have so much prejudice between them? In fact, one could almost say that there was a point in time where they could even fall in love. It's so easy to sow discord amongst any sort of people if you give them insecurity, fear, instead of love. I'm not entirely sure why this study is here, but I guess I owe you both some answers, so those are my parents.
Oh? Wait, but the baby doesn't have pink. Oh, okay.
The reason why my ears aren't as pointy, even if just slightly pointy as you see in this baby's picture, is because my ears were clipped when I moved from Eclaire to the state of Dubois. They trimmed the edges of my ears so that no one could know that I wasn't a half-elfin.
Alright. Well, I mean, that's not what I'm going to have an issue with. That you're a half-elf is more than fine. And you should have never had the idea that you needed to hide it. But I get it.
Well, it's just... I trust everyone in the mansion, but it was very recent that I've joined, and I still haven't been fully honest, and I hope you can respect that
You don't need to be worried about that. Now, what I do want to know, mansion?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear, straight answers. I know you can give them any other day.
All right. Well, if you want clear, straight answers, I will give you some of them. I am Vanity Love, but also I am Vanity Love Dubois, or of the House of Dubois. My father was the Lord of Dubois. You may have noticed that he's not here at this moment, so, well, let's leave it at that for now. I am mostly the person who is running this family nowadays. And unfortunately, I have had to leave the estate for a while so that I could come to understand more about myself being a witch.
Vanity, you said to me that I can't trust you. And at this point, I want to trust you, but at the same time, I suspect that, like all of us, she's still hiding something, I think.
Well, I think it's getting rather late, and I will definitely tell you more. But I think it's quite urgent that we go to LaVorne Mansion.
You do see, Vanity, something catch your eye on the desk, which is a small chest with the symbol that you know is your mother's.
I open it.
Inside are three things. There is a notebook, which seems to be a collection of letters between two people. One by the name of Charles Dubois, and one by the name of Celeste Dubois. There is also a banknote, which is yet unclaimed, of 100 gold pieces. You don't know what this does here in this box, but the last thing catches your eye. It is a vial in the shape of an elf with two pixie wings, a glass vial, and inside it is this crystalline, almost diamond-like dust. It seems to have 3 doses, or 3 parts of it, and 2 have been used. And this deep memory then suddenly comes to you as you memorize this dust. Your mother used it on you once before when you fled this house. At that moment, as you're trying to recollect your thoughts, a loud couple of bangs interrupt your gathering. A voice booms through the entrance hall as the glass in the paintings trembles slightly and dust comes from the ceilings. By the order of the Countess Elena Cateau, open up. This is a search. Open up now!
We need to go, we need to go, we need to go.
We dash to the tunnels.
As you come out of the secret room and you come back, Velmer is shuffling towards you frantically. He says, with a face white as a sheet, he says,
Let them help us. They are in front of the door. What do we do, Lady Vanity?
and then once again, like,
Eclaire at this point, thinking, oh shit, this chamber shouldn't be seen, I think. Then she pushes the button.
and slowly the wall shuts again. As then once again you hear, I will not wait very much longer.
Vanity, we need to go.
Dottie speaks up and says, "Oh, what if they found out that the old master is dead?"
Shut up, Dottie.
Dottie, please, we will handle this. You need to get out.
Dottie runs down the stairs.
Dottie!
And then Velmer tries to shuffle behind, but he's way too slow as Dottie just walks down the stairs. If you do not open up now, we will enter the residency by force. We have an order from the Countess Elena Cateau to search this premise for potential enemies of the state. One certain Vanity Dubois. Out of the way now.
Ah, Vanity, yeah. Lovely girl, yes. Haven't seen her in ages. Poor thing.
Out of the way, wench, we are entering.
Oh, no, she's not here though.
Then you hear a whoosh as Dottie, you see her just fall on the ground and soldiers stab over her body.
All right, everyone. I need us to be stealthy.
Isn't it better to use the stairs? And if we use the stairs to our benefit, we can defeat them without them hurting us.
We're not
How
gonna
many of
fight.
them are there?
Make me a perception check. 13. You can see 3. You get the feeling that they're not very stealthy. They're dressed in half plate and chainmail, it seems.
I cast sleep in the middle of the guards.
Oh, okay, so roll me 5d8. They don't see you yet because you're on the first floor, these soldiers, but they yell out, "Men, find them. They have to be somewhere."
And at that moment, Vanity casts the spell.
13, 15, 22.
So as he says that, "Men, look for them. They have to be somewhere in this." As he falls on the ground, the other soldiers like, "What the?" And they start looking around, and then they see you, Vanity, in their periphery, on the first floor, and they draw their swords. And I would say for that, roll initiative.
Damn it. By the way, do I have javelins?
Yeah, you can have. Oh, well, no, you have nothing on
I
you.
think that it would be too much for you to carry. Yeah. Okay, to start combat, it is the 2 guards, unfortunately, with a natural 20 and a 19. So they both rush up. One makes it, I believe, and the other does not, towards Vanity.
So the guard runs up the oaken wood stair of the sword from over the shoulder. It finds Burgess on your shoulder. A diagonal slash rips open the fabric of your dress, and blood seeps down your arms.
That is 6 damage to you. And these are Iberian soldiers again. Then it's the next one's turn, but he doesn't make you as he's stuck between the other guard, and they're now sandwiched in between the balcony and this large oak wooden table.
So I'm gonna reach the guard, which I should be more than fine to be able to do.
So Oliver jumps on the dinner table next to Vanity, and he's like, "Oh no." Yeah?
I will smack him.
So with the 2 knuckle dusters that you have equipped, you
That's-
try.
Hang on, sorry. That's a 15 and a 21.
So both hit, so roll me damage.
So the 2 knuckle dusters find Burgess on the jaw of the guard. It's and then from the other side, the
4 and 4. 16 points of damage.
What?
Wow, what the hell?
You definitely feel stuff break in the guard's face, as the first one on the jaw and the second one on the side of the head. A cheekbone definitely fractured and a dislocated jaw.
And he looks very hurt suddenly as this Oliver Twist-looking motherfucker jumps on the dinner table and just whack with these knuckle dusters. That's your end of your turn, right?
Yes,
Use your bonus
that is
action?
the end of my
Then
turn.
it is Vanity's turn.
And I just tell you, son of a... As I launch an Eldritch Blast directly on the one that was just knocked over by...
So he's standing in front of you and he's completely dazed by these 2 knuckle dusters, and you lift your hand forward almost in an arc to hit his jaw, and as you release this pinkish bolt of energy...
Natural 20! Critical, bro!
This is gonna be quick combat indeed. 8 damage.
8 damage plus 8 plus 4...
12.
12. So as you release this glittery blast, it shoots in the jaw, and while it looks nice, you definitely hear bones crack as this the jaw of this guard, of this soldier, immediately go and he falls over. The other one tries to, because the other guard is behind him, tries to catch him, realizes he's most likely dead, and he's like, "Huh!" drops him and tries to go for you.
So there's still one alive, or one standing. So
And
that
the commander is still dozing off.
I'm going to hit the one that's. I'm going to hit the one that I can hit, and of course I'm going to hit it with my little battle axe using one of my blast, divine smite. Natural 20, you guys.
Again! Critical!
With a roar, you see Eclaire jump over same dinner table, strong doof, 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 as it creaks a little bit under her weight, jumps up with the battle axe as the axe booms with divine light.
And as you release this battle axe, it slams into the shoulder of this other soldier, completely dazed still by what assault you're pouring over him. And as his battle axe streaks through the air, lightning gathers around it. And as you hit the armor, it reverberates so much that it causes a loud boom. You all go deafened for a little bit. And when you look back, the guard is just super wounded.
Oh, that's also
This
fine.
is 4 plus 8, 12, and this is doubled. That's
Yes.
24, and plus 12
Yes.
from the other roll
Yes,
is
it's
36.
38,
Plus
yes.
2, 38.
Perfect. Slice through the chainmail straight into the heart, most painless.
So as this boom emits, you get dazed for a minute as you see this flash of light and you're deafened, and then when you regain your senses, you just see Eclaire there with the battle axe through the armor and shoulder, just cleaving this person in two, stopping at the center, and then you don't see anything in the eyes anymore as he just flops over.
The boom, though, does start to wake up the guard captain. What you see from the corner of your eye is that Velmer and Sophia come running down the stairs and try to restrain the guard. As they look at you expectantly, there's now an opening for you to escape.
Let's go, let's go.
Wait, that guard. We need to.
No, he's fine. They've got him. Let's go.
Velmer takes out what seems to be a cloth from under his wraps, and a certain herb is into it. He just plops it, almost like chloroform, on the soldier, who just starts to look around, and he yells at you,
Quickly, lady! We will make sure of this. I still have some favors in Brovnoya. Quickly!
You know what to do, and we dash off.
Yes, we're gone.
As you
clink,
dash
clink.
through the estate. You know these tunnels very well that lead out of Brovnoya, as your father always had an escape plan. You go down to the basement level, and then you see 3 tunnels. One that leads to a very particular house in the Roskova fields, another one quite similar, and then one which goes outside, the central one, out of Brovnoya. It's very damp and dark in here, as it is a small and secret tunnel. But you know where to go.
Yeah, Aravel's wobbling body is still between you. As you see very small, fiery ponytails start to grow longer and longer, and a small murmuring like, oh, and he falls unconscious again.
And at that moment, you go through the tunnels and you leave Velmer, Sophia, and the rest of House Dubois behind you. The screaming stops, and you're just left in this tunnel as you make your way back to the LaVorne Mansion the next day.
And that's where we're gonna end the session.
So,
shit.
this was fun.
Yes.
It's a good session.
This is very fun.
You rolled a lot of natural 20s.
Yeah?
What? Yeah, I was
To make up for the live
surprised.
show.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
compensation for...
It's like we don't trust that wheel or that big die anymore.
Opgeslagen?
yeah.
Okay, cute.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's in good time as well.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
timing. Hey babes! Before you continue watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our D&Drag Patreon, where you can help us develop this crazy show further.